collective, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at the energy for the week via the tarot, astrology, and any channel messages that come through. So let's get into it. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well this week. It's been, things are okay, right? So in the astrology, we've had some transits kind of lessen. It doesn't mean that things aren't happening. We're seeing a lot of stuff on the emotional front. We had a full moon in Leo not too long ago. And so maybe even kind of dealing with some of the repercussions of that full moon. But even in the astrology and the transits today, or just in general, things have been kind of emotional, or we're being challenged, I guess I should say, on the emotional front. Things that are popping up, how is it going to trigger us? How are we going to actually manage what we're navigating? And how are we going to stay on course with the things that we're trying to go after, what we're trying to manifest, etc.? So a lot of moving pieces. It's not overwhelming right now. I like that in the astrology, we're actually getting a little bit of a break. Transits aren't as intense. We have Jupiter in retrograde right now. Mercury will go into retrograde at the end of the month. So there are some things, right? But it's not, and I should also point out, we're going to start our eclipse season as well with the upcoming new moon. Eclipse seasons herald change, a time of change. We've been seeing that a lot in the astrology anyway, so I don't know that it's anything new per se, but what you can kind of keep aware of as we're navigating this time is just that things might be changing. Things might be happening in your life that are unexpected, or, we kind of have to acclimate. We have to figure out how we're going to navigate moving things forward. That's why I like to start off these energy cleansings, or start off the reading with an energy cleansing. Sorry. I don't know where I'm going. I'm kind of spacing out. I apologize. I'm excited, happy, present to be here. So I apologize if my space cadetness is coming across. But I do like to start our readings off with an energy cleansing just for this fact alone, just to cleanse out any blocks, limitations we might be coming into. It's a really good time. Hey, Karen, what's going on? I hope you're well. So good to see you as well. Okay, Yes, I agree. Karen just commented the energy is loosening. It is. And I agree with that 100%. And we're seeing that even in the astrology. It's evening out a little bit more. Or I think also too, we're understanding things that are happening in our lives. So it's easier to get a better grip on what's going on, right? It doesn't feel so much out of left field. Hopefully not. Uranus did just go in direct, and that can bring some unexpected change. But I think a lot of it is more about how we're moving forward, right? The things that we're actually going after, the things that we want to see manifest in our life, it's a little bit easier to see that path. And so when things are not working, it's way easier to say, okay, I'm done. I'm over this. I'm moving on, etc. But we will look at how all of that manifests tonight. I'm going to start off with an energy cleansing just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked or limited. It's a really good time to set your own intention as well. especially if you've come into this reading with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It is a really great way to personalize these collective readings. You can also drop comments below. I love to interact, engage, etc. Yeah. And then I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're interested in more of a rebalancing of self, alignment of your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. And I would love to help support in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right. With that, I don't know. Yeah. All right. Let's get into it. Sorry. I'm picking up this really weird energy, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Let's do the cleansing first, and then we'll figure out what the F is going on. All right. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, my love. Oh. All right. Very interesting energy walking into this week. So we have a little bit of intensity on the forefront. I think a lot of this stuff is manifesting, not in actual situations that are happening in our life, but more so thoughts, feelings within ourselves. Hey, how's it going, girl? So good to see you. I hope you're doing well. So thoughts, feelings, it's more about ourselves. It's an internal reflection. I hear this energy of just moving a little bit slower. We've been talking a lot about this at the channel. So, don't hate me for saying it. I think it's just collective energy right now. I've seen this theme actually definitely confirmed with other readers, other astrologers, etc. Yeah, kind of those, it's like the layers of life, right? Shadow diver, diving into those places where it's a harder to look at. I think this message has come up a lot. We've been kind of on this move, on this trajectory of doing good things for ourselves, taking the focus off of other people, outside situations, putting that back onto ourselves. But then when we do that, it is also very revealing, just about places where there might be some disconnects, where we might be seeing something a little bit amiss. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to say that because that doesn't feel true. It feels like a lot of learning. It feels like a lot of realization. It's not as much about oh, you're doing something wrong or bad. I don't get that energy at all. It might feel that way because I think looking at these places of ourselves that are not very palatable or in our own perception, we don't want to deal with, etc. That's a hard thing to do. It's not easy at all. It takes a lot of humility. It takes a lot of compassion, right? Like not judging, not shaming yourself for wherever you're at. This grace component that pops up for us. And what I like, as I said, like, okay, so there is some tension in the beginning of the week. I don't like that. I like everything to be fine, happy, well, and good, but that's not life, right? That's not reality at all. So we're forced to kind of like contend with the things that are happening and recognizing where we're at as a result of it. Recognizing the limitations, yes, where we need to give ourselves grace, 100%. I'm a huge proponent of loving on yourself because that really is the best medicine. It's the best fuel, especially when we're dealing with harder situations, people, places, things that like, just make it harder, make it like are trying to maybe spin some untruths or trying to make us buy into false beliefs, etc. The Moon Cat is a really interesting card because it kind of speaks to what I was just talking about, our intuition enlivening, really like attuning ourselves, what we're hearing, what we're seeing, what we're picking up. Even if it is more about like reading between the lines. It looks like you are, okay, so beginning of the week, it's really important to be kind to yourself, especially in the places where there are some misgivings. It doesn't mean you're bad, wrong, etc. But just be gracious because you're going to need your energy is what I'm seeing. You're going to need your energy as the week progresses. And we're getting this. So we have the strategist and we have the Moon Cat. I should pull them up together. So if we're too tightly wound around certain things, right? If we get too like, oh, I did this wrong, or I shouldn't have done this, or this shouldn't have gone this way, this shoulda, woulda, coulda. If we're getting too much into that, it's actually going to become like counterintuitive for what we're navigating as the week progresses. Like I said, we're going to need more of our mental intellect, our wherewithal to try to navigate what's up and coming, figuring out what the strategies are moving forward. Beginning of the week, it is a little bit more messy. We're seeing a lot of tension, especially with the moon, which is our feelings, our emotions, the conflict that's coming into play, 5 of Wands. So again, not to be annoying, but just like take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Easier said than done sometimes. It's hard to be nice to ourselves, right? There's outside forces that are infiltrating, outside forces that might not even be a dominant energy in your life, but people, situations that you've listened to for long enough where present day, when you're trying to do something or whatever, you get those messages in the back of your mind, those things that are telling you, oh, you're not good enough, or you don't deserve, or, whatever that may be for you, wherever that message is coming in that you can't, or you don't, like it's more about not deserving. It's a lot about lack of worth, of value, etc. And again, these places that sometimes we don't give enough credit. The shadow work is not easy because, again, like I was saying in the very beginning, it forces us to look at pieces or places of ourselves that aren't fully healed, that feel a little sad or shameful, or we wish we didn't have them, etc. But they can be super potent medicine. And that potency is coming out for what is to come, what you're building, what you're growing, what you're moving towards. And so I'm seeing a lot of this energy of like, whatever it is that you're leaving behind, that maybe you're struggling, like whether it's, I don't even know that it's a struggle from you. It might just be collective energy, right? Like now is not the time. Or you have to learn this lesson. This lesson keeps getting in your face over and over and over again. So you will pay attention. So you will see. It doesn't mean that it's going to be here forever. It might feel that way right now, especially with whomever, whatever you're dealing with, because it looks like, you know, someone is going out of their way to either prove you wrong or to sell you short or to try to get you to believe something that's just not true. Knight of Coins, Knight of Pentacles, someone who just can't, like, I don't know, like, just, it's someone who's not they're taking their time, but not in a good way, right? They're taking their time in a way that actually becomes detrimental for the situation. It makes things a lot more difficult than when they actually need to be. And that's the place that you're in. Like, I'm feeling your energy. You're ready to go. You're on to the next thing. There's a lot of good work you've been doing within yourself. Maybe not really acknowledging some of these aspects that are harder to look at, that do need some attention, i.e., why we're getting this value of, okay, what do we got? Ace of Coins, Six of Wands. Okay. So why we're getting this value of like taking it slow. I know that's not a fun message. Sorry, I gotta like, this is like too much. It's just like right in my face. Why it's important to take it slow. Why we need to cleanse, right? Why that smoke's coming in my face. It's like, we need to take a second. We need to take time. Someone has a very specific idea about how they want things to go, and they're not going to really let you tamper with that. I don't know that that's good, bad, right, or wrong. Maybe it's annoying. Maybe it's frustrating. But does it affect you? I don't know. Because I think at the same time, midweek, whatever you're dealing with, it's like highlighting places that you need to be a little bit more diligent about your follow through, about who and what you are actually engaging with. It's not as emotional as we're moving on midweek. Some of that dissipates. We get more support. We're seeing a lot of support. We're seeing a lot of support on the level of like tuning in, understanding what's going on in your world, where you need to put in the proverbial hard work. And again, not that you have to be a robot. I don't want to convey that energy because I feel like you've been bobbing and weaving for a long time. You've had to navigate a lot of stuff, and it might even feel a little bit exhausting is what I'm picking up, right? But good things are to come. I love this. I was like, as I was reading, like, let's have a good week, right? Let's have a good week. The good, it's available to us. It's available, but it's also about like where we're putting our energy, where we're putting our focus, right? Nine of Cups talks about wish fulfillment. It's that value of strategizing in the way that's like ultimately working out for our benefit. The Chariot. But it's not all easy, right? Like there are things that are coming up that are blocking that for us. And again, I think a lot of this ties back into the lessons that we're learning. Like making sure with the Seven of Wands that we're not, it's hard right now because there's not a lot of benefit, right? There's not a lot of payoff for what we're doing. And that can be really annoying, especially if we like are pretty solid in what we think, what we feel, what we see about other people, what they're doing, etc. It can be really annoying when like you don't see people getting their karma, or they were shitting all over you and you're just trying to do right, etc. But nothing follows through. And a lot of this is about getting right with yourself. I think number one, topically, I want to say like paying attention to yourself, paying attention to your wants and your needs, and then doing right by those, right? Clarity that we need to have, understanding about what is happening in our life, about the way that like certain people, certain situations are like positioning themselves in order to make things difficult, to be, I don't know, this is a really weird energy, an emotional energy. An energy that like doesn't really want to divulge what they're doing or how they're doing it. I see. Trying to like be a little bit more steady for you. But you're not feeling that vibe at all. Like you're not feeling that vibe. Because you have different ideas in mind about what you're going to be doing. And what it's going to look like for you. And I think that some of this like slowing down, well, I would say a lot of this slowing down, it's not even about you. It is that proverbial like ball and chain. It's the people, it's the situations that are keeping you stuck, limited, etc. And I feel like you're working this out a little bit more midweek. You're looking at things from a higher perspective, from a different perspective. A perspective that's actually working in your favor. It's hard to see that because I think like moving into or like where you're at, like the energy I'm picking up right now is just like things aren't moving, right? Or it doesn't mean that it's not. I think we're getting these like tiny little hints along the way, like good job, well done, keep moving in that direction type vibe. But it's not like a huge celebration, right? We still are like spirit, universe, God, however you understand it, is still trying to keep us on this path that's actually for your overall good. But the process can be a little bit annoying. So as we move to midweek, it's like I think you're understanding things on a new level. You have a different, I want to say like wisdom, a different perception that you're putting into practice. Like maybe like some epiphanies or whatever are coming out and you're like, okay, like let me try it this way. Let me see if this is the strategy that works. And it looks really good. Yes, let me clarify this Chariot real quick. Two of Coins, Page of Cups. Maybe you have a lot going on, so it's hard to kind of see like where things end up paying off. Let's see what this Chariot is for you. Okay, Page of Wands. Don't get too distracted. This Page of Wands came up a lot for us today. Yeah, yes. Take your time. Take your time. Be gentle with your healing process. I know that's a little cliche and not always fun to hear, but also the reason why we heal, right? Taking our time. The thing about, especially right now, because there are not a lot going on in the astrology, because we get a little bit of some buffer room or time off, so to speak, it can be easy to get wound up around things that like really aren't a big deal. Like maybe feel like a big deal in the moment. I don't want to demean or discount, but there is this energy of like, don't get too worked up about things that really, like, maybe it's annoying right now, but long term it's actually a good thing for you type vibe, right? Being really analytical with your approach, how you're managing the things that are happening on the day to day. It's going to work in your benefit this week. There's decisions on the table with this moon cat. And we've been kind of seeing this come in a lot lately. Decisions on the table, but these are people, these are situations that aren't really like favorable or friendly. What I'm seeing overarching is like you have a better, this week, you're like just more grounded within self. You're feeling better. You're feeling stronger. Like you don't need to appease. You don't need to overcompensate. Yes, there might be a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction to do so, but I do feel like you're keeping yourself in line, or that's what it's showing. That's what it's showing. Yes, there's potential to go the other way, as we've talked about. But this also, like that energy of like getting sucked into something you don't want to be a part of, it's not within you. It's actually outside of you. And maybe, yes, I mean, I'm not going to say that yet, but like, give me a second, please. I'm not trying to project. I'm not trying to like blame or saying it's someone else's fault. That's in your blocked energy though, the fatalist this week. So this is just someone who like, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of meddling. I'll clarify that. Let me pull one more for the moon cat. Ace of Wands. I love it. Lots of, that's the thing. Like it's moving towards more inspiration, more creativity. And part of it is about like weeding out the people, the situations that are like a little bit half-ass. We're seeing that with the Page of Cups. Page of Cups, the Tower, and the Hermit. Someone who's trying to like backtrack, pick up pieces, wishing something didn't happen, etc. You have a lot of like forward moving energy. I feel like you're releasing some of the burdens. I feel like you're being very honest with yourself this week, honest about where change is needed. And also strategic at the same time. I think this is a really necessary energy. Maybe beginning of the week, it feels a little bleak, right? Like you're feeling the heaviness. I can even feel that like as I'm doing this reading. I don't know why. My energy is like just off. Like I was really happy, like excited to go into this reading. And then like as soon as I started, it was like, wah, wah, like somber, blah, 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 which is fine. It's just the overall energy, right? Like it's the places that we need to not judge ourselves. It's the places that we need to give ourselves a little bit more grace, a lot of love, right? Because as things are popping up, as things are coming out of the woodwork that we don't really want to deal with or are a little bit more painful, Like that's the part of ourselves that needs to be stabilized, right? So that we can move through those things in a smart, wise, decisive way. So it's not ending up shooting ourselves in the foot. I don't see that energy. I see like more this week, you learning how to maintain. I think that's a really good way to say it. Like learning how to maintain the things that are happening, the things that are going on around you towards your benefit, right? The miracle of life. I love this. Life is a miracle. It's actually amazing. It's beautiful. That's why I love Ayurveda, because it really reminds us like life is awesome. It's beautiful. It's spiritual. And when we engage with life in that way, that is the blessing, right? Not the fucking bullshit. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but sometimes this drives me up the wall, right? Like just the dumb stuff that we have to navigate day in and day out, where it doesn't have to be that way. Life doesn't have to be messy. It doesn't have to be chaotic. It doesn't have to be dramatic. And I'm not saying that because that's the energy I'm picking up from you. I'm picking that up more from the environment. But our responsibility becomes, how are we interacting? How are we engaging with those energies? Do we fall prey to them? Or is it something that we can rise above? And I see you doing that. I do see you doing that. I see like there are some pieces that are going to have to be dealt with eventually. I don't know that you're necessarily doing that this week. I think this is reverberations of the past, and you're figuring out how to better like align yourself, or kind of not go down those roads that don't really make any sense for you in this time, in this moment. Soul connection, such a huge point. I don't know, sorry. But like definitely get out there, connect with people who are on your vibrational wavelength, right? Like I'm not just saying like hang out with people just to hang out with people. Actually invest in people. People who like make you feel good. People who are worth your time, worth your energy, worth your investment, etc. It's such a good building tool right now. We need those types of people. We need those types of relationships, especially for the change that is happening. Stay the course. I love it. I love it. I always love the tarot. It never lies, you know, and oftentimes confirming exactly what I'm saying, right? Like keep on track. It's easier said than done, 100%. And I think especially right now, because the way that life has been changing, the way it's been evolving feels uncomfortable, or we're not seeing the results right off the bat, which we would love to see. And that can be really difficult in and of itself. Maybe that's part of where the shadow's popping out for you, right? Like wanting it to be a little bit further, wanting to be more evolved, or wanting the situation to be done and over with, which on a lot of levels it is. And maybe that's kind of like the better theme to focus on, that like not all is what it's selling itself to be. Sometimes it's really easy to buy into people's illusion or their picture of things that's not necessarily true. And sometimes that means that we got to get right with ourselves, right? We got to take that step back and say like, okay, well, is this reality or not? You know? And that's not easy. That's not easy. But whomever, whatever is challenging you right now, it's in this way, again, to get you to buy into their belief or whatever they're trying to sell you. And you know better. You know better. I don't even see you struggling with that this week. I think it's more about like maybe not falling prey to like the difficulties or whatever, the drama, the BS that someone's trying to sell you, so that you can empower yourself, so that you can find your wisdom and your strength. There is some emotional energy coming in end of the week. We've been seeing this a little bit lately. People wanting to come back around, wanting to connect, wanting to say a thing, maybe even wanting to make you emotional, right? Like maybe even kind of like poking the bear. But what you're doing, where you're at, it's actually helping you not react, not fall prey to that, and be like a better version of yourself, right? Be a better, like I see that a lot. I see you doing that for yourself, right? Even if you can't see it within you, it's definitely happening. It's definitely manifesting. I think there's like a little icky residual old energy that keeps popping up. But again, I think this is a lot of this shadow work that we're doing to overcome, to be better than, right? To not give way to some of the BS and be successful versions of ourselves, right? That's what it's all about. Like just being the best version of you. We don't have to get involved in the hubbub, the drama, the chaos, the BS. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. It's like fun for a hot minute, but not so much long term. So thank you so much for your time, energy. Always, I hope you enjoy this reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. I super appreciate your time, energy, always. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear. I love to connect, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support you bring to the channel, especially if you've made it this far in the reading. No, it blesses my heart. Thank you so much, girlfriend. I appreciate you. Just all the love. Thank you so much. It just fills my heart, and I hope to bring that back to you as well. All right. I will be around for probably the midweek check-in. Thursday morning is what I'm looking at. But until then, stay tuned, and I'm sending all the love, all the blessings your way. Have a fabulous Monday. Happy week.